Hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, July 1st, 2026. I'm Manila Chan. I don't know where Ted Rall is. Maybe producer Robbie can tell us. Robbie, where is Ted?
That's a good question. I don't know because he was just over on deep. I may have hurt his feelings because
That's not possible.
him and JT were celebrating the demise of the American working class and the destruction
Oh, there's
of
Ted.
destruction of the United States via birthright citizenship. And of course, I called
Oh,
them out on their hypocrisy. And so, what should have just been a very basic question turned into a full-on Robbie rant that went for about 20
ah.
minutes.
Ted, did you need to recover from that? Did you need?
I'm good.
Okay, well, the gang is all here now, and Robbie says we have an ad.
Yep.
This is the TMI show. The T from the show, Ted, is here, and Robbie says we got an ad, and then we'll hop to some of the stories, some weird stuff to talk about.
Yep.
Robbie, do you want to go ahead and just do
Yeah, just go ahead and read.
do the ad?
Yeah, this will be easy enough. It's fitting like for Rumble. You probably noticed Rumble's growing fast. It's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform. No pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble's offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code studio at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code studio, no ads, for freedom, and the content you actually care about. That is the deal. And today's the start of the new metrics. So
today is the start of the metrics. And if you haven't heard, we need to get at least 75 unique chatters per month. So if you are one of the lurkers that comes and hangs out and enjoys reading the chat, but you never talk, we need your help in order to stay in the official content creator program at Rumble. Just drop a poop emoji or say hi or whatever, and then you can go back to lurking. But we just need 75 unique chatters every
just
month.
once a month. Once a month, just drop a turd.
Yes, just drop a turd in there and run. And also Putinbot Gaming, that's Robbie's channel. He could use some help there because the gaming stream viewers don't tend to chat very much. They watch all the gaming and stuff. But
gaming on Rumble's very small anyway. I mean, like any given time, there's fewer than 1,000 people more often than not across the entire gaming section. So it's just
really, even with what's his? I keep forgetting his name, Doctor.
Well, the thing is, because he has a contract, he doesn't play with the rest of us. He has his own yard, and he gets promoted.
No, I know that, but I mean, how many people watch his show? Because I know they're paying him gobs and tons of money.
A couple of thousand people, but there's a lot of suspicion that a lot of that is they're counting viewers from his YouTube and Twitch and other things. It's not just Rumble, and they're trying to make him look bigger than what he actually is. That would not surprise me at all.
Yeah, he seems like a turd. I don't know why anyone watches him, but all right. I'm not the demographic. But anyhow, we do this Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So please be sure to hit the like, the share, and the follow button, the subscribe. So even if you don't subscribe to YouTube, or excuse me, don't subscribe to YouTube. Subscribe to Rumble Premium. If you don't do that, you can also just subscribe to this show for $5 a month. That comes directly to us, the creators. Rumble actually doesn't take a 1 red cent of that, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they don't. I mean, that $5, 100% of that goes straight to the creator. Rumble does not take a dime of it. So
that's pretty good.
I mean, Rumble's good, but I mean, this new requirement though, I mean, it's going to be a heavy lift for a lot of people are going to get kicked out of the creator program. So we need y'all's help, especially over here on Putinbot Gaming.
Yeah. TMI, I'm not too worried about, and I'm sure Deprogram not too worried about, right?
Yeah, TMI, like last month, we cleared the hurdle. We got it.
Yeah. So we know we can hit it.
Yeah, the gaming channel, it got 34, 35 unique chatters over the month. I mean, the hours are the problem. The problem is the chat.
Yeah, That's a hard metric to reach. Yeah. So anyone listening, please, if you see Robbie streaming, just drop a poop in there. Call him Nazi or whatever.
I don't care. Don't hurt my feelings.
All right. With that,
Manila, we have some
yes.
breaking news that is very TMI-y.
Oh,
All right. And Robbie,
Please?
you're going to find this very interesting.
Huh?
Scientists have long dreamed of discovering the alchemy by which chemicals can be turned into life. Today, a team at the University of Minnesota has announced that it has taken a major step toward accomplishing that. Blending together dozens of ingredients, researchers have now synthesized simple cells that feed, grow, reproduce, and compete with one another for food. They are basically alive. Until now, scientists had never mastered the recipe for a cell that can perform so many functions. It is a cell that was built, not born. It's constructed, but it does what cells do. So basically, synthetic cells like this could someday maybe be engineered to do things like making new kinds of medicine or drawing large amounts of CO2 from the atmosphere. Yeah, that's not terrifying at all. So anyway,
but then they compete for food, and they will compete with humanity at some point for food. Limited resources.
So the question is, if human beings can now create life, which it sounds like we can, that creates all sorts of huge questions about, involving religion and faith and, of course, the nature of life itself and the role of human beings in that life.
Yeah, between that and colossal science that's bringing back Jurassic freaking Park, I'm not sure I'm looking forward to the next decade.
I mean,
I think we're waiting for the big asteroid.
Yeah, people need to stay in their lane. Stop trying to play God. It does not work well.
Yeah, I feel like that's the takeaway is we've seen the documentaries of Jurassic Park. We've seen all of the documentaries. Outbreak, all of that. We know that's the predictive documentaries. So yeah, probably not fun when you tinker with
nature. It's not like a dangerous virus could escape from a lab and kill people. So just fucking relax.
No, it's totally fine. And or the labs, like whatever they're doing in Ukraine, it's don't worry about it.
Which they were not doing until I guess we now know they were.
Did y'all see that movie on that was on Netflix? So I got pulled off called Cordon. It was like like cordon off a section. So basically, it came out during COVID. So that was really unfortunate timing for them. And what the premise of it was that this virus that was made in a lab somehow infected this guy's clothes. He went, he kissed his girlfriend who was a doctor at a hospital. Long story short, a bunch of
I did see this movie. I did see it.
It was an awesome show. It was an awesome show. Netflix. I mean, they pulled it during COVID. It got too uncomfortably close to the truth.
Right. It was too real.
Yeah, and it was just. I don't know if you're able to find it, but if you're able to find it, it's called Cordon. Look it up. It's awesome. They tried to blame it on the illegal immigrants, which they have a lot of blame, but they won't be blamed for this.
So it's just like weird timing. Like this came out during like 2020-ish.
Yeah. It dropped like the end of 2020. And next thing you know, COVID came out, and it's just like, oh, it's kind of like Jericho back when it's got its season got pulled in the middle of the second season.
Yeah, I remember you telling me. I started watching it and I just couldn't. But
it's I don't know. Awesome show. Just don't have good taste. Look who your friends are.
I know. I didn't like that one. Like I am looking forward to watching the new Larry David take on history, like American history, on HBO.
I don't know who Larry David is.
You don't know who Larry David is? The one of the co-creators of Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No.
I read books.
I read books. I don't watch brain rot.
Yeah, he's hilarious. See,
you gotta laugh. It's not brain rot.
It's not brain rot. It's so well written, and it's
great
TV, performing arts.
No, I mean TV in general is brain rot. No, what I do is I like to play video games because it helps keep my brain sharp, and I like to read because it helps keep my brain sharp.
Yeah,
It
we
keeps
can
you
have
out
a
of the
whole
bars.
episode about that. Very arguably can be good or bad for you. Oh, by the way, Robbie informed us during the great egg crisis of 20. Gosh, did it really go on that long? No, this can't be right. Between 2022 and 2025, is that right?
Yeah,
No,
that's right. Yeah. That's right.
It went on that long?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure. Okay, wow. So 3 of the nation's largest egg producers agreed yesterday to settle allegations that they artificially inflated egg prices during the bird flu outbreaks. How about that? The companies called Cow Maine Foods, Versova, and Hickman's Egg Ranch will pay a combined $3.3 million to 17 states and donate 53 million eggs to food banks and nonprofits and adopt stricter antitrust compliance measures. Investigators allege they manipulated a key pricing benchmark used by egg sellers and buyers, making demand appear stronger and driving up wholesale prices. The companies deny any wrongdoing. And it says the bird flu outbreak forced farmers to cull roughly 200 million birds, shrinking egg supplies and sending prices above $6 per dozen in early 2025. I remember that. I don't remember it going back that far, though. And one man's, the shortages prompted restaurants surcharges, grocery store purchase limits, and even a brief trend of coloring potatoes instead of eggs for Easter. Who did that? Prices have since fallen to roughly $2 a dozen. So I didn't realize we had an egg shortage-ish for that long. It doesn't hardly seems right. But anyway, 3.3 million bucks doesn't seem like a lot of money, guys, for 17 states after the egg cartel.
A lot of these settlements are like this.
What kind of weak ass shit is that? Like a whole egg cartel. All right. With that, let's get to the program. All right, here's some stuff that's changing today, July 1st, not only our Rumble metrics, but student loans are changing starting today. Here's why Washington is rewriting the rules. So beginning today, the federal student loan system undergoes its biggest overhaul in decades, affecting roughly 43 million Americans who collectively owe roughly $1.7 trillion, while many borrowers will notice higher monthly payments or tighter borrowing limits. The changes reflect a much larger philosophical shift in how Washington views higher ed. The most immediate impact falls on the roughly 7 million borrowers enrolled in the Biden administration's SAVE, this different SAVE thing, not the SAVE Act. This is just called SAVE, Saving on a Valuable Education. That's what Biden's thing was. The repayment plan. After federal courts ruled SAVE exceeded the Education Department's legal authority, the program is being phased out. Borrowers will have about 90 days after receiving their notice to choose a new repayment plan, or they'll automatically be placed into a standard repayment schedule, and that could substantially increase the monthly payments. Future borrowers will also face simpler but more restrictive systems. New federal loans will generally offer just 2 repayment options. The new repayment assistance plan, called RAP, R-A-P. Why do they do this, Ted? Why do they try to come up with the cute acronyms? So you can join RAP, which bases payments on income, and then the tiered standard plan, TSP. Graduate students will lose access to Graduate Plus loans, while new borrowing caps will limit how much a master's, law degree, medical degree, and other professional students they can finance through the federal government. So it's going to limit how much those people can borrow from the government. Parent Plus loans are now capped at $20,000 annually, $65,000 per child over a lifetime. But Ted, as we know, we've covered this on the show a million times. Schools like like your school, Columbia Beauty School, that costs like $100,000 a year practically. I mean, how $65,000 per child over a lifetime? That doesn't pay for 1 year at many, if not most, even state universities if you're from out of state. So the Trump administration says the previous system had become too complex, encouraged excessive borrowing, and left taxpayers responsible for debts that borrowers never fully repaid. Education Secretary Linda McMahon has argued that federal lending should promote personal responsibility rather than open-ended government subsidies. The changes stem largely from provisions in President Trump's tax and education legislation, which McMahon is now implementing through the Department of Education. Critics see this differently. Student advocacy groups warn that eliminating SAVE and tightening borrowing limits will disproportionately affect lower income students, grad students, and families already struggling with college costs. Some analysts fear the changes could increase defaults or push more borrowers toward private loans with fewer consumer protections. Yeah, this is going to become like the housing bubble. Supporters counter that colleges have long had little incentive to control tuition, which is true, when students could borrow almost as much as they need without limit. By capping federal loans and simplifying repayment, they argue universities may finally face pressure to rein in the rising costs. In other words, the debate isn't just about student loans, it's about who should bear the financial risk of higher education, students, taxpayers, or the colleges charging the tuition. Now, I've heard the Trump people argue, Ted, that by putting restrictions on the student loans, it will have a downstream, or rather an upstream effect on forcing colleges to drive down the tuition costs or prices. Do you think that's true? How can that be? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, I think it is possible. I mean, the thing is, it's tricky. So I've always bought the argument that, if you sell a service and you lend people the money to buy that service, no matter how much that service costs, basically it has an inflationary effect on that service.
Yeah.
It's really, really easy, especially when it's a service that people are told they have to have. In this case,
Yeah.
You have to have a college education, otherwise you won't be able to find a decent job. A lot of people believe that. So I believe that. Now, that said, it's also true that the finances of colleges and universities, they do have increasing costs. There's a lot of pressure on colleges and universities to build new gyms and climbing walls and shit like that for their students. Otherwise, they can't compete against each other. There's a lot of pressure on them to update their dorms. Something that, frankly, if you went to college like in the 70s, 80s, 90s, aughts, dorms were raggedy. Whether you went to
Yes.
Yale or you went to Kent State University, the dorms were old and ratty and like literally possibly rat infested, and they just didn't care. Now it's like parents don't put up with that. They expect, real food in the dining hall and all that. So even though kids still complain about their dorms and their food and all that, the fact is that it's better than it used to be, and that costs money. So it is complicated. I think the solution here is,
But Ted, a lot of the costs, you can attribute the rising crazy tuition costs to the outrageous pay that you give university presidents and all the high-ranking admin officials there. I mean, these people are making
the star professors. I mean,
yes, they're making shit tons of money, hand over fist.
I know someone who makes $1 million a year as a professor at Harvard, and it's like,
God.
Meanwhile, the same schools are like, basically they have adjuncts working as indentured slaves, working 3 different jobs at different colleges and running around.
I know some.
And literally getting $6,000 for one semester class. So it's definitely a winner take all system. It's not really working for 99% of students or university employees. It's pretty bad. Everyone's getting soaked. It's a shitty system. And, unfortunately, there really kind of only is one real solution, which is to nationalize colleges and universities, seize them as an essential service, and say, look, a real country has to have higher education. We can't have a system where it's for profit and where it's $100,000 a year to go to a private 4-year college.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. We're just going to have to seize these and put them under government control.
Yeah, I've said this before about my Dutch friend. His son was born in the U.S. but has dual citizenship, and I said, one day when it's time for him to go to college, I said, where are you going to send him to school? Is he going to like go to college here in the States, like, or are you sending him to the motherland? And he's like, oh no, I'm sending him to the motherland. I said, why? He said, because all the colleges are good. It's basically free for whatever you major in. And I was like, well, what do you mean they're all good and they're free? What do you mean? I was like, I couldn't wrap my brain around this. I said, what do you mean? I said, isn't there like one school that's better than the other? Like, like a Harvard that's better than, I don't know, University of South Florida. Sorry,
Sure.
UCSF. But he's like, no, we have great professors all over. And I was like, I had to explain to him what I meant by this because he couldn't grasp what I was saying. And for him, he said, no, professors get paid what professors get paid. It doesn't matter what school you teach at. And that blew my mind. I was like, what? There's just like a national professor pay scale? Like, that's just what it is. Like, I couldn't wrap my brain around this. So I was like, don't you have like some top tier, like law teacher or some top tier medical teacher? And he's like, no, there is no such thing as this guy's better than that guy. Once you reach a certain level, like you're considered good and the students will tell you, like
yeah, you're just a professor. I mean,
and I'm like, what?
In fairness, like, look, my mom went to Wright State University, which you probably have never heard of. It's basically a local college out north of Dayton, Ohio. The thing is, if you looked through, as I did, the catalog for her school, I mean, the professors, they all graduated from places like Princeton and, Stanford. These are, smart people. They're lucky any professor in this day and age is lucky to get a job anywhere. So
yeah,
it's not really about that. But what makes Harvard better than a Wright State University is more about like the infrastructure. For example, the library is kick-ass as opposed to the one at Wright State, or the fact that there's there's great infrastructure in a lot of other respects, and also the class sizes are so much smaller at a school like Harvard.
Oh, okay.
And so you're getting a lot more personal attention from the professors. So that's where the difference is.
Yeah, well, a lot of it is also like just the hundreds of years of brand name recognition and having a degree from a place like Harvard, what it carries with it and opens doors for you. And, so we have that here in America, but it's not like that elsewhere in the world. And we've talked about this at the start of the year, was that of the top 10 universities in the world, China had like 7 of them or something. It was like more than half. So it says a lot about what's happening in the education system here in the US. And I don't know about capping borrowing for students. Like, is there any way for Linda McMahon to body slam these people at the universities to bring down costs? Like,
I don't
shouldn't
think
you, if that's the root problem?
I've talked to people who are very knowledgeable about university budgets, and I've come away very convinced that they're not really wasting money. Things cost what they cost. The truth is, what I would like to see, obviously, a communist revolution would solve the problem, but since we're not going to have that anytime soon, what would be nice to see is like, look, there should be a limit to how much money a person graduates from college with it at the age of 21. Otherwise, they're going to never be able to launch, right? They're going to be broke
Oh, no,
as
of course
shit
not.
the rest of their life because paying off these loans. So young people shouldn't be saddled with massive indebtedness. Now, what will happen as a result is that a lot fewer people can afford to go to college. That is good because even though it'll suck for that generation, because it'll precipitate a national conversation that is not currently happening. Currently, it is not a kind of, neither Democrats nor Republicans in Congress are thinking about this, holding committee hearings about it, drafting legislation to try to solve it. It's not even on the radar screen. So, right, this would put it on the radar screen because suddenly a lot of kids, bright kids, would not be able to go to college. That would be great because then it's like, oh, well, we have to do more with our public, 2 and 4 year colleges. We have to fund them better. Maybe we need to nationalize them. But the point is that, like, at least the political class would focus on it, and they're not focused on it now. That's the issue, really.
I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the answer is, but I know we need a sea change if we want to keep up with the rest of the world as far as like engineering and medical students, and we just don't have enough of that. We have too many people in, wanting to study underwater basket weaving with ESG as a minor or some shit. We need to do something different to keep up with the rest of the world, or we're falling behind already and we're going to continue to fall behind. So cost is an added burden. So, all right, with that, let's move on.
Okay. A Ukrainian construction mogul with ties to Russia, his wife and their 13-year-old son were seriously injured after a parcel bomb detonated in a residential building in Monaco. The Monaco government said in a statement issued in the early hours of the day that a violent explosion linked to a booby-trapped package was heard in the principality close to the main Place des Moulins residential district. Vadym Yermolaiev, 58, native of Dnipro, was the likely target of the attack, which occurred just before 9 p.m. local time Monday, about 1.5 miles northeast of the Prince's Palace, close to the French border. Yermolaiev, his son and wife, were taken to hospital across the border in Nice, where the 2 adults were reported to be in critical condition. 4 other people were treated for injuries from flying glass and shock. Monaco government spokesman Manuel Vitali said an investigation had been launched by the Attorney General. Eyewitnesses say that the man who delivered the package fled on foot into France.
Ted, he's hiding amongst your people.
Yes,
I thought,
yes,
I don't
he
know.
is.
I saw some video of, first of all, I don't know how it was strong enough to blow the doors out and the windows above in this guy's townhome that he was in, but the neighbors, it didn't blow out their windows, it didn't blow out their doors. I hope these people are fine. But nobody, it's like this is like a total mystery right now in a movie, right? Like he's in a multi-million-dollar like townhouse or whatever in Monaco, which I've been to many. I'm sure you've been, right? You've been to Monaco.
I have been, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Monaco a few times. Love the place. It's a teeny tiny little, so anybody that knows anything, it'll circulate. It's a small, tiny little piece of expensive property, beautiful. But this guy just skedaddled over to just the other side into Nice, and now he's like gone somewhere in France. I feel like since this guy is supposedly, although he's Ukrainian by passport, he may be like one of the Russian Ukrainians, right, in the Dnipro area. He has ties to Russia, they say. Ted, we saw execution style attacks like in Spain of other Ukrainian businessmen that were friendly to Russia. We don't know who did this, but I would say, Ted, I would say there's one little Ukrainian.
A short man.
Small Ukrainian man who has pension for playing piano with penis.
Wow.
who is on his way out, and he is trying to take out all his foes before he's pushed out. In case people forget, the Ukrainian war is still going on. It's over 4 years now. It's become the forgotten war. It's just dragged on and on and on and on and on. And while we're not hearing like big news of, I mean, could Russia have gone in and carpet bombed, done the American thing and carpet bombed the whole fucking thing on the way in? Absolutely. They could have flattened Kiev the first day if they wanted, but they didn't. They didn't want to, because they have, I don't know, they have some sort of brethren feel towards the Ukrainians. But from what we've seen so far in the past 4 years, Ted, I would say the signs point to the Yukis taking out people that they consider are traitors, and they might consider this guy a traitor if he's a Ukrainian construction magnate, right? He might be building stuff with Russia, and he might be viewed as a traitor. And maybe he's pouring money into supporting other causes that the current Ukrainian regime, because all of their terms have expired, right? Everybody in the parliament, everybody in the presidential palace, all of those people are there illegitimately at this point. In my assessment, it's been years. They haven't held any kind of election whatsoever. I think these people are behind a lot of these one-off executions of their own Ukrainian nationals.
It sounds likely, right? I mean, obviously. I mean, probably this is what's
probably. But no one's saying that in the news, Ted, because they still want to say Vladimir Putin bad, evil man, so evil.
Yeah, it's just I mean, yeah.
But I mean, that's what it is, and they're like, "Oh, we don't know who this guy was. He just
the thing is also
fled on foot."
You've got to look at the methodologies, right? Like usually it's Occam's razor. Things tend to be like as they seem. If you offend the Russian government, there's a tendency for you to get a polonium cup of tea or to have an unfortunate visitation with a window. But that the Ukrainian way is the bombing way. They like bombs. It's their thing, right? When the Yukis decide to go after some Russian general that they haven't gotten to, they blow them up.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? No, they don't do poison. They don't check them out the window. So it's like, it's like if you offend the Saudis, it's bone saw time. It's like it's like they don't bomb you.
So you're saying everybody has a thing.
Everybody has a thing. I mean, look at America. America is all about the drones, man. Like we don't, we're after you. We fucking like send a robotic assassin out to kill you. That's how we do it. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. And so a lot of small explosives right now.
Assassination is cultural.
It's true. Small explosives right now seem to be Ukrainian based. And Blake, thank you for the $5 donation. Blake wants to this is not Mardi Gras. He wants Ted to flash the screen.
Okay. How much flash and how much money is in it?
No. There will be no flashing.
For $500, I'll go topless.
There will be no flashing on this show.
Now for $10,000, I'll give you full nudity from behind. $50,000, you get full frontal.
Are you turning this into OnlyFans? Like this is dude. No.
Would we be banned from like YouTube or even Rumble if we were to go like naked?
I don't know. I never thought to ask. I don't know.
Robbie, do you know the answer to that question?
He knows?
Well, yeah, you get banned. Yeah, even Rumble has a zero. This is kind of put it.
Really?
What about topless male? Would that matter?
Guys is fine. So you could do your full frontal shot. Like Rumble actually took down a couple of my Baldur's Gate 3 videos because I pixelated boobs.
Pixelated
boobs
and cartoon
Boobs.
boobs.
Pixelated boobs have been on national television.
Well, Rumble's just like, that's a bridge too far.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah. So that's the problem
Okay.
whenever you're a publicly traded company.
Okay. I never thought to check those rules.
Yeah,
So
well, I didn't know
did
that
not know.
pixels. I did not realize that frontal nudity in a video game would be considered porn, but yet here we are.
Yeah, I didn't.
I thought it was
So what
art.
about frontal? What about a frontal like nudity shot from a movie that appeared like on Rumble or YouTube?
If it's a guy, it's fine. But if it's on YouTube, it wouldn't be allowed anyway because YouTube is a bigger Nazi than what Rumble
No,
is.
we know. No, we know that about YouTube, but on Rumble, you can't show full frontal, right? On Rumble, I don't
No,
think.
you'll get banned. Now you could be in a bikini. You can have your nipples, covered up with a Band-Aid or something. That's fine.
Right.
But
Okay.
if,
Well,
but
good to
no,
know.
I mean, no, but Ted, you could do it. No, Manila, and you got your after you had your surgery, you should went the Dolly Parton mode, and you could just have like this huge rack. But I still don't understand why you didn't do that.
And it's also weird because, like here in New York, Manila could walk around topless legally. She could like ride the subway legally. Like, yeah, nobody knows this, but every year there's a group of topless women who like take the subway just to show like there's nothing you can do. There's been a court case where basically it's like it was on the grounds that breasts are not sex organs, and therefore if men can be topless at the beach or whatever, or in the street, that like there's no reason why women shouldn't be able to be as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's like the tit liberation front.
Yeah, and big shout out to the Rumble peeps. We are currently we are now at 31 of our 75 unique chatters. Thank y'all. It's a great start to the month.
Thank you guys. Thank you for helping it. We're going to reach that metric. All right. Let's move on. So I guess we're not going to do any sort of nudity just because we don't want to get flagged.
But we could do that. We could do. I could be topless, right?
Yeah, you can be topless. You and me both could be.
But Ted has a price.
I will do that for $1,000.
Ted has a price. So
yeah, I mean, come on.
Don't be a cheap slut, Ted.
$12 is not too much money to ask.
Yeah, don't be a cheap
see
slut.
My beautiful nipples.
Yeah, so John D. Cockefeller, he said Robbie Rumble must really hate the Lazelle sex scene. Lazelle, Shadowheart, and Minthara all got took down by the free speech platform of Rumble.
Well, I guess fake boobs, cartoon boobs are not speech, Robbie.
No,
so
obviously it's not art.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very shocked by all of this. I thought Rumble would be more.
I mean, the algorithm doesn't.
And they're Canadian. They're Canadian. Are Canadians more? Are they as like Protestant-y as America? Or are the Canadians a little more?
It's a Canadian company, but their headquarters is in Florida. So because the Canadians, they keep trying
but the owners are. But the owners are Canadian, so like culturally.
Where do the people actually at Rumble, like management, where do they actually live?
They are in Florida. They're one of the keys. I don't remember which one exactly right now, top of my head.
Yeah, but the founders are
Canadian.
Wait, they get to live in the Florida Keys and work?
Yeah, they do.
I want a job at Rumble.
Tough life.
Yeah.
Tough life.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of surprised. I thought the Canadians were a little more loosey-goosey and chill with like sexual stuff than Americans' Protestant background.
Well, what is with Rumble is it's not the algorithm just goes around just randomly nuking stuff. What it is most likely someone complained.
Oh,
it was like,
but I don't know.
That's always how things go.
Just thought the Canadians were more chill about the human body, like not a big.
Well, I'm sure they are, but
I don't know. By the way, Canada is mostly Protestant. Don't forget that.
Is it? That's why I was asking.
Yeah,
I don't really know.
Quebec is, French, and it's got mostly Catholics, but not. There's a huge Protestant population in Quebec, and and certainly the rest of Canada is Protestant, right? So.
Oh, I saw a funny Canada cup today, on my favorite only kind of social media that I look at is Pinterest, and in Canada, there are like meme cups that they use at coffee shops that say, "We would warn you that this cup of coffee was hot, but this is Canada."
Oh,
In the fine print. So
one thing, Manila.
that's a slap at us, Ted, at the
'Cause,
Americans.
Pickaxe, they have rolled out their profit sharing program starting today. So you need to
Oh,
start
cool.
focusing on your
Lot of
Pickaxe
people.
discount. So that way, it's like X. So you gotta have 100 followers, which would be easy for you
Okay.
to do. I mean, you're a celebrity. And
Yeah.
so then what'll happen is that as you engage, people engage with you, you actually start getting paid on Pickaxe.
Yeah, I gotta start getting back to, like, writing and doing stuff, but that's it's kind of exhausting with a new baby, guys.
You're such a
Just
crybaby.
saying.
Well,
Just
I hear that there's a great solution. What you do is you bring in illegal immigrants,
Yeah.
and they take care of your child for you.
It's true.
do I have to pay this illegal, or do I
Well,
just let them
you say you're going to pay them, but then you don't,
Right.
and then you say,
and
"Oh,
they have no recourse?
yeah," because you're like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Oh, I know. Why don't we take it up with ICE? Here, I'll call."
Oh my god. That's something to think about if I wanna get back to, like, writing and journalisting things.
Mhm.
All right, let's move on. All right, so President Trump reported billions of dollars in income, revenue, and other proceeds during his first year back in the White House, much of it tied to cryptocurrency ventures, according to his annual financial disclosure that was released on Tuesday. Trump reported at least $2.1 billion in income, revenue, and other proceeds last year, according to his financial disclosure made public by the U.S. Office of Government Ethics. That's a funny name, Ted. With more than half of it tied to cryptocurrency. So over $1 billion from his fucking meme coins here. Though Trump was initially skeptical about crypto, he embraced the digital currencies and their supporters during his third campaign for the White House. After being elected, he created what some analysts have called a crypto friendly administration. During his first year in office, he took several actions in support of the crypto industry, including signing a digital assets executive order during the first week in office and creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve and U.S. digital asset stockpile. The 927-page financial disclosure, that's like fucking Moby Dick, man. 927 pages. The disclosure states that the president reported more than 1.4 billion in crypto income and proceeds, including 635 million from his Trump coin and nearly 800 million from World Liberty Financial, a Trump family linked crypto venture. And they have and I don't know if he and Melania filed jointly, Ted, but Melania's got that Melania coin. I don't know what that looks like. I have no idea. But look,
I think it's probably very stern.
it's very cold to the touch.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
this is funny because, crypto and coins aren't real coins. That's the joke, people. Because there are some people like, Manila, crypto, you can't touch crypto. I know that. That's the joke. That's why it's funny. So I don't know if they filed jointly, Ted. If I was Melania, I probably would not. I would I would file married, filing separate, because I don't think there's any law that requires the first lady to do a disclosure, is there? I've never
No.
heard of that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, I know the Obamas filed together because, they always said our taxes, but I don't think if you're the first lady, I don't think you have to file and show your own
No.
because you're not the elected official.
Well, you don't have to show. Nobody has to show their taxes. I mean, it's just custom. You don't have to do it.
Well, remember he was trying to hide his taxes before, but now
it's not the law though.
But now he's braggy. I think that's what it is. I think he's braggy about it. And I do think he did an about face on crypto because of JD Vance
Mhm.
and all the tech bros that are in this iteration of the Trump administration. I really, really do think JD Vance is the one that kind of shifted his thinking on this. And he was like, oh, aha, another avenue for me to make money and put my name on something, because we know that's his favorite thing to do. Look, as much as people are split on saying, okay, this is all a grift, and sure, for Trump, maybe it's a grift. People broadly can say crypto is, phony baloney, it's a grift or whatever. Point is, it's here. El Salvador has made Bitcoin a part of their national, like we have laws, Ted, like if you're a vendor, if you're a seller of something, you have to take the greenback, right? Like you can't deny the greenback. That's illegal, right? It's legal tender.
Mhm.
El Salvador made Bitcoin part of their legal tender, which is crazy. And I
It is
think a lot of
crazy.
other countries are starting to do that. Well, they have a millennial president
Yes, they
in
do.
El Salvador. And I heard, because he's a little bit of a tech bro himself, I heard he and JD Vance are kind of like elbow to elbow, buddy buddy. So this is very much a millennial thing, and I think the influence was seen on President Trump. And I think normally he is hesitant to show his billionaire status, right? But now that he's a Bitcoin or whatever meme coin officially billionaire, now it's kind of braggy. I think that's why he's like okay to
I
file.
agree, but I mean, look, the dude should be impeached. This is corruption at the highest level.
Yeah,
It's
it's
emoluments
crazy.
at the highest level. He should just. This is right here. This is grounds for impeachment. If Democrats take power this fall, I hope they impeach him over this, and I hope the Senate convicts him over this.
Yeah, we've never seen a president earn this kind of money.
It's a direct conflict of interest. It's not like he was deep into crypto and he was kicking major ass, and then he happened to run for president later. And of course, it would be nice to think that he'd put all that into a blind trust. But even let's just say he didn't; it's not required. And he just kept rocking it because he was just good at crypto. Like, no, the only
No.
reason this money is rolling in is because he's president of the United States.
Yeah.
People buy Melania coin and like lose 98% of the value because they're trying to ingratiate themselves with the president of the United States. If Donald Trump wasn't the president of the United States, no one would buy his crypto shit. So this is it's like Hunter Biden
or his ties. No, I don't
it's
know
like
his ties
Hunter
for crypto.
Biden's paintings that the value fell
That's
off a cliff after his father left office, right?
that's exactly it. This
It's a money
is
laundry.
the
It's a
Hunter
bribe
Biden
laundry.
painting. Hunter Biden painting. All right.
It's disgusting.
One more. One more. I don't know how much we can say about this one, Ted, but you being the cat dad,
This is the most important news of our time.
it's a Guinness record story, right?
True.
Yeah,
True.
it's a new Guinness record.
The kitten belonging to a family in Michigan is officially been listed in the Guinness Book of World Records after a vet, not a military veteran, a veterinarian, verified that he was born with 28 little cat toes. The Henderson family's 10-month-old kitten Toby tied the record for the most toes on a cat, previously set by a Kanatastani pet named Jake in 2002. Cats typically have 18 toes. Felines with extra digits are known as polydactyl. By the way, not just kittens, right? Like Anne Boleyn was polydactyl. She had an extra finger, and people thought she was a witch because of that. When I first saw his toes, I really couldn't believe what I was seeing. Lansing resident Delaney Henderson told the Guinness Book people. Having another polydactyl cat, I was expecting the extra thumbs, but nothing could have prepared me to see Toby's paws. So there's 10 extra.
Wait.
So there must
18.
be if there's 10 extra, then
wait, how are there 18 normally?
That means there's 10 extra. That means there's 4 paws. So it must mean that there's 2 extra on either the front or the back, and 3
I
extra
saw the picture
on the other one. Right?
I saw the picture. I think I saw his back feet had a whole bunch of toes. But I didn't know.
Well, yeah. By the way,
Like-
think about the claw trimming situation.
like-
I mean, I have to trim Clovis's claws. And so he has 18. He has the dew claw, which is the one that's like
Okay.
up here.
Yeah.
And then,
And so how many are on the pot, like where they step, where like how many fingers basically do they?
4.
4
There's,
plus the
there's
dew.
4 plus the
Okay.
dew claw, and then 4 in the back, no dew claw.
Oh, okay. Wait, that makes 18 fingers?
Yeah, think about it. That you have 4. Think about it this way. There's 4 paws. They each have 4 fingers, right? 4 times 4, 16, plus 2 dew claws.
Oh, and they count the dew
18.
claws. Okay. Okay, I'm thinking like, where's the other digit? Oh, they're counting this thing. Okay, so this guy has 10 others, and I saw the picture and I was like, that's an interest. So this is not like he's like mental. There are mentally handicapped pets out there that are not all there.
I want to know where this is going. I'm waiting. All right.
I wasn't sure when I saw the cat if he was going to be like normal in the face or if he was going to be like
You thought he was going to be like
deformed.
What made you? Did you think that there's a relationship between?
Yeah, because his
feline
back paws were. And yeah, I don't know because I'm not a
fucked up cat.
I'm not a cat mom, right? Like I've always been a dog person, so I don't have a lot of cat experience. So I was like,
actually isn't really that rare in cats. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. I just was like, oh, is this cat like special needs?
Is it off? I had a friend.
Like, does he walk into walls?
Like her husband was secretly making meth in their basement. And their cat got into the meth and ate it. And the cat was never right. After that, the cat was always just sort of had this look like,
oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait. Your friend's husband was secretly making meth.
Well, she discovered it.
And she didn't know that her husband was
until she
was Breaking Bad.
She discovered it, and then she confronted him, and he was very angry, and he beat her up, and then she left him
in the meth house.
Yeah, in the house of methery.
Did she take the poor meth disabled cat?
Yes, I met the cat. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that's how you know firsthand that he was like.
Oh yeah.
Just stoned forever.
He just wasn't right. He was. Yeah. I don't think. I don't know. He might have been a great cat before this happened, but yeah.
Oh, you only know him as like strung out cat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he might have been not great before. I don't know.
Oh, one more thing. Remember, I wanted to talk about like poop issues. We were talking about France earlier, obviously, with people fleeing into France. That is where the great country of France, I would attribute where bidets came from. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ted. Is that true? Right? Like,
yeah. I mean, let me put it this way: it's got to be. Yeah,
it's got to be. I mean, bidet is a French word.
It's a French word. Yeah, I'm looking this up while you're talking. All right.
So I read an article on Washington Post about how, and I'm going to call it how Americans are bi-curious.
Definitely, the bidet was invented by Christophe de Rosier, and it's French for pony or small horse.
Because typically a bidet is the separate.
It had to be straddled originally.
You have to straddle the thing. Yes, I think I've heard this before. But anyway, I was reading about the rise of Americans being bidet curious. People are bidet curious now post-pandemic because during the pandemic, people couldn't get toilet paper, right? So people were turning to the butt sprayers, like an American version.
Yeah.
So,
the butt sprayers don't work for shit, but yeah.
No, yes, they do. I have the toilet seat ones that have come
they're
out.
All right. But a proper bidet is different.
Oh, well, yeah, but it's
By the way, you want to know how fucking okay. You brought this story up. So, all right, this is a TMI show.
Dude, toilet paper is gross if you think about it. You're smearing poop up your rear.
So I had hemorrhoids a bunch of years ago. And when they went away, they left behind these like skin tags. on my anus. So recently I had them
On the booty.
cut off, right? So it's a 20-minute procedure. You
Oh.
bend over, they shoot you up with Novocaine, and they chop them off, right?
Novocaine.
So anyway, and then they send you off into the street, right? So anyway, I'm riding the subway afterwards, and this snotty, I'm like, as you can imagine, I have to like man spread a little more than usual because I'm standing, because I have, my ass cheeks are taped together. I've got like a whole bunch of gauze jammed up my anus, and I'm trying to get home, right? So I'm riding the subway and I'm standing, but I'm like spreading a little bit. And this snotty little like Gen Z / maybe young millennial shit, like, it's like, dude, can you move over? I'm like, not really. And he's like, insists, right? And then I like remembered, hey, I'm 62. Old people can say anything. So I very loudly go, listen, I just came back from ass surgery. My ass is bleeding. My ass, like, I've got ass blood pouring into my pants right now. And so I'm sorry I'm taking up a little extra room, but hey, I'll change places with you. How about I'll be the one you encroach on and you have ass surgery. But I thought that would humiliate him. But no, he comes back to me and he goes, dude, haven't you ever heard of a bidet? And I'm like, hey, I'm French. So yeah, I've heard of a fucking bidet before you were a thought.
Why would he respond with that?
Because the whole thing is like, oh, if you use a bidet, you don't get hemorrhoids. If you don't get hemorrhoids, yeah. So yeah,
so he thought, he thought he was so sophisticated with.
Yeah. I was like, that's how. Yeah, he's like,
well, bro.
Yeah,
maybe you should just use the bidet.
I'm like, yeah, I heard about it.
Brooklyn
hipster.
You were
your father's balls. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So, well, it was just a funny article I looked up, and when I was reading the Monaco story, and look, everywhere else in the world that I've traveled, Ted, all over Europe, many parts of the Middle East, they all have some form of liquid butt cleansing, whether it's a hose or a bucket or a full-on bidet that you have to straddle.
Or like in India, I dated this Indian girl. You go to use her bathroom, and I don't see any toilet paper. I'm like, hey, where's the toilet paper? And she goes, didn't you see the picture? And I'm like, yeah, I saw the picture of water. And she's like, and I'm like, oh, yeah. So yeah, there are other methods.
Even at truck stops across the UAE, where you go into the bathroom and it looks like a shower stall, but with just a hole in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a hose there. It's like a garden hose, right?
But then there's nothing to dry yourself off with. So
because that's a truck stop.
You're suffering then from
that's
damp anus syndrome.
Yeah, I mean, so you can have like fresh booty wetness in the hot Emirati climates of like 51 Celsius.
Yes, it's not good.
Or you can have your own sweaty swamp ass. Pick one. But either way, my whole point to this whole thing was that apparently Americans' interest in bidets or some form of booty spray is on the rise because it all began in the great toilet paper shortage of 2020.
Really?
So how about that?
That's fascinating, actually.
And that more people, because some people got them, and then they started telling their friends, and now we're 6 years on. Apparently, it says despite the growth, most Americans still don't own one. A 2022 survey found, that's an old survey, 2/3 of Americans have never used a bidet. 12% say they know a lot about bidets. And 45% have researched buying one. Okay. So they're on the rise, Ted. I would say that, look, anywhere in Asia, I think it's common in Asia. Japan, 75% of households have bidet-equipped toilets or some form of booty spray common in Italy, Spain, Portugal, South Korea, much of the Middle East, Argentina, Uruguay. Because why? Water is more hygienic than dry paper and smearing
Well, yeah,
the
I
poop.
mean,
If you think about
paper
it.
is a shitty system, pun intended. All it does is smear it around.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you have to use tons of paper before it's finally like clean.
Yeah.
But for like, I get why Californians may not want to do this because there's never any water in California. But for everybody else in the country, people are like, oh, but then you use more water. Actually, I've done research on this because I installed those booty sprayer toilet seats in all of my bathrooms. Because when I came back from Dubai, I was like, I'm never going back to only toilet paper ever again. Never doing this again. Is that when you use just toilet paper, it actually costs it takes 6 gallons of water or something like that is what they say
Oh,
to
from the toilet flush?
produce to produce the rolls of toilet paper. So, and whereas you would only use 1 gallon more or less in your whole process
Mm.
with a bidet sprayer versus that roll of toilet paper. It takes like 6 gallons to produce that pack of toilet paper that you have.
Oh, see,
So
nobody knows that. That's sort of like the almonds thing. Like each almond takes a gallon of water to produce
Isn't that crazy?
for a single almond.
So for people that are concerned about the environment, it's actually better. And then you're not asking the world to cut down trees and whatever. And then and the article in Washington Post, the people were asking this doctor, a gastroenterologist, because she recommends it, Ted. She recommends you have a butt sprayer.
Oh yeah, so does my GI. Yeah.
So she says that people ask the wildest questions like, but I don't want the poop water on me. It's like, no. It's a the hose.
It goes straight up to the special spot. Yeah. You block
No.
it.
You're not getting the bowl water. Americans think you're getting the bowl water.
Oh my God.
No.
They think that?
No. Yes,
and
people
from
think that.
normal system, you get the bowl water anyway from the splash if you have a big log.
But the spray water is tank.
Everybody's had the splash.
Well, if you have a big it depends on the shape of the bowl. But look, the sprayer of any sort is going to be much cleaner. This doctor said so in the Washington Post. She's like, no, she had all the calculations, and you're like 10 times less likely to spread germs by using a booty sprayer.
Manila, what do you think happened like with early man and woman? What did they do? I mean, like many of them did not live near running water. Like they, like
do you think it's instinctual to like get leaves and
well, I mean, I guess I'm sure because if you don't clean yourself, you're gonna get sick, right? So
I don't know.
They had to do something, right? They don't just
but weren't they also very hairy?
It's not like a cat that just like sort of just drops it and goes.
Right. I don't know.
Well, even a cat licks itself, right? So a cat does clean itself.
I don't know. You see the pictures of Adam and Eve. You see the pictures of Adam and Eve, and they're always wearing some sort of big fig leaf or something,
right,
like covering.
But they wouldn't have been, right? I mean, but the point is that
no. But I was like, they're using that leaf to wipe their ass. It's not really to cover their junk. Like
no, they use a different leaf to wipe their ass. I mean,
what would you use if you're early man and woman?
Leaves.
But why not that leaf?
Leaves everywhere. There's thousands, millions of them. They're free, I mean, like it's nature's toilet paper. But I mean, I just wonder. But I mean, I could use 10,000 leaves and still be smearing. I mean, I feel like you
stick your ass in the river.
They don't have that Charmin absorbency that I'm looking for.
Well, you must they must have known to like stick their butts in the river, right, or something.
Yeah,
or
it must have been like that. Yeah,
it's instinct, right? Like when you're thirsty or hungry, like you just kind of know.
Well, I mean, look, they were primitive. They weren't stupid. I mean, basically, their brains were the same as ours.
JDC, the college professor there, the scientist says, "Early man let it crust." I don't know.
Oh. Yeah.
So let's not be early man, and even though you have expensive rolls of Charmin or whatever, you're still doing the smear. So just go invest in a $60 toilet seat.
I mean,
has
that doesn't
this-
do you any good when you're on the road, but yeah, sure.
No, but I'm just saying, if you have the option at home, and then you'll be delightfully surprised at how fresh and clean you too can feel. Just saying.
True.
Just saying. So
True.
that's all. Just want to leave weird news Wednesday with that, because that was a whole article in the Washington Post.
Well, I mean, look, it's about time
No,
they publish-
man-child.
It's
Man-child
about time they publish something
donated.
useful.
Man-child, thank you for the donation. But no, God did not create Eve to lick Adam's butt. No. That is not what happened. No.
Yeah, maybe they cleaned each other.
That's true. Maybe they're like cats or monkeys. You know,
It's like a mutual analingus situation.
I don't oh dear God, but we're sending you off with that.
Yeah.
Weird Adam and Eve
Think of the visual.
butt play. Gotta go.
So much, by the way,
Happy Wednesday.
I just like to point out that a species that cannot wipe its ass and keep it clean, that disproves intelligent design. Just saying.
Bye, everybody. See you Thursday.
Bye. Q&A show coming up.